Isekai Manga or Manhwa Part 1. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host We Love Anime, and today I'll be counting down my picks for the top 10 Isekai Manga and Manhwa series. From classic titles that define the genre to exciting new series, these are some of the best otherworld adventures you can dive into. Which portal fantasies will make the cut? There is only one way to find out. Let's get started. Starting off with our number 10, Mukang Dark Lady. Mukang Dark Lady takes a master martial artist and throws him into a fantasy world. After being cursed by enemies, Mukang winds up as a lady in a realm of magic and monsters. Though skilled in Chinese martial arts, Mukang struggles in this new world. Some may be turned off when the overpowered protagonist is weakened, but this struggle makes for an intriguing story. If you can get past the initial power loss, you'll be rewarded with a character who becomes even more powerful. Mukang Dark Lady starts rough, but slowly polishes into true gem. With beautiful art and a humble warrior fighting to get home, this manhwa is worth sticking with. Makiko Marate Isekai Tenisuru Yatsuwa Taiti Chit. Makiko Marate Isekai Tenisuru Yatsuwa Taiti Cheat follows Yuzo Ogata, an average high school boy who gets summoned to another world along with his friends. But while his friends are ready to serve as brave heroes, Yuzo is accidentally brought over. This case of mistaken summoning leaves Yuzo as an odd man out in this new magical land. Though behind the oddness in compatibility, he discovers he has an incredibly rare cheat that allows him to copy other powers. With this special talent, Yuzo steadily rises in strength while keeping his easygoing personality. Makiko Marate Isekai Tenisuru Yatsuwa Taiti Cheat puts a comedic spin on the classic transported to another world premise, with fun characters and a protagonist who stands apart from typical heroes. Number 8. Oversummoned, Overpowered, and Overread. Oversummoned, Overpowered, and Overread puts a comedic twist on Isekai manga tropes. Protagonist Inori Takafuji is an average guy who just wants to sleep, but he keeps getting summoned to different fantasy worlds, gifted incredible powers, and tasked with defeating demon kings. After the first few times, Inori is completely over it. All he wants is for the endless summoning to stop. This unique premise pokes fun at overpowered Isekai heroes and endless summoning plots. Inori hides his growing powers, playing weak, while quietly becoming one of the strongest characters. With great comedy, a fed-up protagonist, and fun twists and common Isekai tropes, Oversummoned, Overpowered, and Overread is a must-read manhwa for Isekai fans. The art style and characters add to the humor in this standout series. Number 7. Headhunted to Another World, From Salaryman to Big 4. Headhunted to Another World, From Salaryman to Big 4 follows Japanese salaryman Uchimura, an ordinary guy until he is killed in a hit and run. He is then reincarnated to another world and offered a new job by the Demon King, one of the 4 heavenly kings. This unique isekai stands out with a protagonist who isn't overpowered. Uchimura has no magic or fighting skills. Instead, he relies on negotiation and management skills from his previous corporate life. The story puts an interesting spin on isekai summoning and fantastical battles. If you are looking for high fights, this isn't the series. But for an isekai with a refreshingly grounded protagonist, give Headhunted to Another World a try. Uchimura's reasoned approach makes for an engaging underdog story. Number 6. Devil's Advent. Devil's Advent brings an intriguing twist on isekai fantasy. The protagonist, a former author, is reborn into a cultivation world alongside the very characters he created. With his fictional demons unleashed in this new realm, the stage is set for epic battles. But our hero has insight into these villains' powers. This inside knowledge gives him an advantage while also posing dangers. With stunning art and imaginative demon designs, Devil's Advent is a treat for the eyes. Watching the protagonist strategically outmaneuver his own haunting creations makes for tense, smartly written action. If you want badass fights, imaginative stakes, and great art, Devil's Advent is a must-read manhwa. It puts a creative spin on transmigration stories that fantasy fans will love. Moving on to our number 5. All Starts With Ubu. All Starts With Ubu throws his terminally ill protagonist into a grotesque fantasy world. Leviathan Lee must navigate violent nether realms, growing stronger through each trial. This manhwa is in creative overdrive, with Leviathan transmigrating to new eras and worlds every 2 months. He is assigned tasks by a system, bringing clever twist on each supernatural setting. With stunning art and massive world building, All Starts With Ubu fires on all cylinders. The fight scenes are visceral and smart, with formidable enemies. Leviathan makes ruthless choices but relies on brains over brawn. Though the translation can be rough, the imagination on display is nevertheless than gripping. For manhwa fans who want boundary-pushing fantasy and a unique take on transmigration, don't skip this hidden gem. All Starts With Ubu will take you on a wild ride. Number 4. Ore no Liga Marioku Spot Dataken Sunderu Dake de Sekai Saikyo. Ore no Lega Maryoku Sport Data Ken puts a comedic spin on isekai fantasy. An otaku is summoned along with his home to another world because his magic power spot. But when the summoners flee, after sensing his immense dormant power, he is left to live a peaceful life. However, trouble arises when others try to steal the magic leaking from his house. Our protagonist is insanely overpowered but just wants to relax at home. The useless princess he is saddled with becomes more capable over time. While she may seem like an Aqua clone at first, her character development makes her quite endearing. With great comedy, an OPMC, and a fun slice of life adventure, Ore no Liga Maryoku Sport Data Ken is an isekai manga that hits all the right beats. The art complements the light-hearted tone. Number 3. Jicho Shinai Muto Yusha no Shuyokote Tanoshi New Game. Jicho Shinai Moto Yusha no Shuyokote Tanoshi New Game puts a fun twist on reincarnation manga. Our protagonist is reborn in the peaceful world he once saved, but now starts at level 1. He is reunited with his powerful sage mate and other allies, now living a relaxing life. The story follows him training up his slave girl, converting a thief to his side, and building his power back up while enjoying slice-of-life adventures. It's an appealing concept with fun characters. However, the execution unfortunately falls short. The manga has been criticized for terrible grammar and a dialogue that ruins the reading experience. It's a shame, as the premise had promised. But with such rough writing, it's hard to recommend Jicho Shinai Moto Yusha no Shuyokote Tanoshi New Game despite his strength in other areas like art and characters. Number 2. Surviving the Game as a Barbarian. Surviving the Game as a Barbarian executes the isekai premise masterfully. After 9 years playing an unbeatable RPG, Hansu finally reaches the final boss. But upon opening the gate, he finds himself inside the game world in a real barbarian's body. This Manhwa crafted a lived-in fantasy world with meticulous care. The game has brutal life or death stakes, forcing Hansu to strategically adapt using his meta-knowledge. But the transition isn't easy, and Hansu struggles to survive this harsh new realm. With multi-layered characters, excellent pacing, and imaginative world-building, surviving the game as a barbarian is a cut above isekai stories. The protagonist is endearingly clever rather than overpowered. If you want an immersive, gritty isekai fantasy with smarts and heart, this manhwa is a must-read. The author weaves together many elements into a riveting adventure. And finally, number 1. Isekai de T ni ireta seisan skill wa saikyu data yu desu. Isekai de T ni ireta seisan skill wa saikyu data yu desu puts a creative spin on the overpowered isekai protagonist. When salaryman Kosaka Ko dies and is reborn in another world, he eschews standards as hero and Demon Lord roles. Instead, Ko acquires a one-of-a-kind production skill set, limitless item stories, and dismantling materials to craft new gear. This gives him immense strength from the start. The manga opens as a generic isekai but soon reveals an engaging plot and cheerful OP protagonist. While the art is nothing special outside of fun battle scenes, the unique power system and Ko's upbeat personality make this worth reading. If you want standard isekai fare elevated by creative skills and a likable MC, don't skip this hidden gem. Watch Ko creatively solve problems offers satisfying payoffs. And that wraps up my list for the top 10 isekai manga and manhwa. From 10 survival stories to comedic spins on the genre, there are so many great isekai out there to explore. Let me know your own favorites in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel for more manga and manhwa countdowns and reviews. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.